Welcome back to the podcast. Well, your first time on the podcast, but thank you for everybody else for coming on or watching again on the podcast. We've seen each other in the gym quite a bit, and I've learned a little bit about your story, but I would like to hear it again from you. So thank you, Miss Debbie, for being our guest here today. What has been your life as an athlete, if you don't mind, from get-go, from the very start till now, I guess?
I guess it started with softball. I've been playing softball since I was 3. But then I was introduced to Camp Rhino, which was at the time Bootcamp Las Vegas. Started doing boot camp in the park about 15 years ago. Once I started doing that, I haven't played softball since.
Nice. Very good. So found a love for at the very beginning, it wasn't necessarily the gym, right? And so
No, it was park.
it was all park stuff. So then what about park stuff brought you into, I guess, like continue to develop that skill of loving and being inside the gym?
Well, when we were in the park, we had we were out there again 5 days a week, and at some point in time, Julie had built Camp Rhino, and she had brought us all in from the park into the gym. So that's where the love for staying in the gym. I think I'm 5 days a week.
You are there every day.
I am there every day.
I think literally 7 days a week you are.
I call it my fun job.
Yeah, right. I mean, it is ultimately. I mean, at this point, with the amount of hours you're spending in there, it is a job.
Mhm.
And how are you able to maintain like that job and your second job? Like, does one benefit the other? Yeah.
I have my 7 to 5 job, which is a pretty high pressure job. I'm a project manager for an electrical contractor in town. And then when I go to the gym, it just gives me a chance to, I call it play, work hard. It clears my mind. It's great for my mental fitness and my physical.
Beautiful. And so you started in the gym and then ended up becoming a competitive athlete. Did someone push you to become a competitive athlete, or
Oh,
was
no,
it
I've always been a competitive athlete.
very cool?
I just love getting better, a little better, then entering these competitions, the little ones called CrossFit Games.
Yeah. Right. We've been in the CrossFit Games a couple times now, right?
3 times.
Wild.
3 times CrossFit Games, and then this 4th time this last year I went as a team. I've been there 4 times.
What are the different experiences, both as an individual and as a team?
The team was pretty fun. You are with 3 other athletes. You get to share the pain, so that was what made it fun.
It's helpful. It's definitely helpful. Yeah. So, like, was the training dynamic entirely different between the two as well?
As far as my everyday training?
Like, how do you does somebody train differently as an individual? Like, if you're going to go to the games as an individual person versus going to the games as a group, are those two different styles of training? Are we seeing the same kind of exercises? What does all that kind of look like?
That was basically the same training, but we were able to meet up and train as a group.
Nice.
So, like I said, the same type of training that I typically do, and then getting together and doing transitions and learning how to work with each other and what each other's capabilities were. That was fun.
So, where are your strengths? What are your strengths in the CrossFit world? What would you say your strengths are?
Yeah. Certainly isn't handstand push-ups.
They're the hardest things in the world. Oh my Lord. It's so difficult.
That's my nemesis.
They're
That and muscle-ups.
muscle ups
Still
are
working on those.
also ridiculously difficult. Still working on them though, and you're still going after it. It's freaking awesome.
Love rope climbs. I love the lifting. I love long, grindy workouts.
Okay.
Because I did so much of the boot camp. I like that. Just go and go and go and go. So I have a pretty good engine.
Nice. So more of the endurance style
Yes.
stuff. So like,
Yeah.
do you like the running and swimming stuff as well?
Well, swimming isn't my strong suit either.
Okay. Swimming's
I
hard.
don't mind running.
Swimming's hard. I mean,
I didn't do a lot of swimming. Did a lot of splashing around in the pool when I was a kid, but never
Fair.
did a lot of swimming. So I never really learned how to effectively swim.
very nice. And it seems that people are like, I can't lift weights, right? Like I can't, especially as I get older, that's a common thing, right? But you're out here like pushing yourself. and still operating really well. You're able to move probably better than most people that are at your age. How are you able to do that?
I had a theory. Don't stop.
It's a good theory. Yeah, it's a good theory. If you use it, you lose it, right? It's like a common thing. Yeah.
Do I hurt? Oh, yeah. There are spots that hurt.
So then how do you, like, what is the difference between different pains? Like, what is hurt not good versus hurt like this is okay?
Like hurt, muscle sore. There's occasions that I'll have my shoulder will hurt for a while. And so I'll work on that. We'll do exercises for that. And then I'll go to um, different PT sessions and help work through that. Or for a while, my hip was hurting. That went away. I don't know what makes it go away, but
Something does. Yeah. And, everybody's having issues and pain, right? So like my back hurts is a very common thing, whether you're moving or you're not.
Yeah.
But the difference is that you're able to get up and off the ground pretty well. You can still run if you really, really needed to, or during workouts if you really need to. And then in your job, I would imagine a very physically demanding job.
At this point in time, as a project manager, it's not as physically demanding. I was an electrician. That was my profession that started me off in that was pretty demanding. But right now, as a project manager, it's a lot of paperwork, a lot of mental.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fair. So, and we're also now not just like kind of in the world of fitness, like we're aggressively in the world of fitness all the way to the point of now ownership of Camp Rhino, right?
Yeah.
And so
Partners with 4 others.
Yeah, right. So there's you and 4 other individuals that are now the owners of Camp Rhino. What was that drive to start opening and be part of the, the business side of the gym?
The opportunity came to us. Julie was ready to sell, and the 4 of us have quite the love and have been with that facility since the beginning of time, and we all wanted to share in keeping it going.
Nice. That's nice. It seems like a pretty good group of kiddos, you know?
Yes.
And so I'm excited to see what change is gonna kind of come through as time continues to come on. What are some big goals for change for the gym?
Oh, that's a good question. Like we're taking little steps at a time because you can't just change everything overnight. We're slowly changing the programming. We're changing the Ninja. Trying to get more control of the Ninja, make that a better space also. And then the gym, keeping it nice and clean and making it someplace that everybody wants to come to and go through pain together.
Yeah. This concept
There's
of
something
like,
about sharing pain that everybody loves.
I was about to say, yeah. I mean, sometimes
Your
I
war
do.
stories.
A lot of war stories, right? You have these like specific workouts, like a Murph, or I think is it the Ann where it's like 150 wall balls, or is that?
Oh, that's Karen.
Karen.
Yeah.
Oh, so appropriately named. I feel like it's such a hard workout.
Yes.
And there is a nicety to have that conversation with somebody that's like, yeah, I've done the Ann. Ugh, what was your time?
Right.
There's the nice to like share in that.
Right.
A
lot of camaraderie with that.
which is like the emphasis of CrossFit, right? That's like the whole goal. And it seems like you found that like really early on, not necessarily in the world of CrossFit, but like in camps and with people. And then it kind of transitioned over into the CrossFit style stuff. At the very beginning, where did you use a lot of weight stuff or not really?
In the beginning, doing Bootcamp?
Yeah.
We did have a lot of weights, not so much barbells, but a lot of dumbbells. When I was in the park, I tried to be as creative as possible. We were talking about this yesterday. I would bring cinder blocks to class. So
Damn.
we'd lift cinder blocks or swing sledgehammers or pull tires or swing, I want to say, sledgehammers on the tires.
Yeah.
We just tried to be as creative as we could.
You can do a lot out there in a camp like that, or like out in the park. It's wild how much you can do. It's like
I used to collect stuff off the job site and bring it.
there you go. Yeah, multi-use items. Lots of sledgehammers to go around. You can do what are those? I don't know. Like when they go behind your back, and I forget what they're called. But I think that the Kabuki strength makes an item called the shoulder rock that is specifically designed for like shoulder health and mobility, which is like kind of it's a big long bar. At the very end of it, you have a small weight, and it's like a pendulum around your shoulders. You can do that stuff with sledgehammer stuff. Which
Sure.
like you can do so much with something that's just right in your backyard, which is super neat. And so we're there, we're lifting, we're doing those things, and then we started competing. Was it like at the very beginning you were very successful in the sport, or not so much?
Oh, not so much.
Okay.
No, it all started. My son was going to Camp Rhino while I was still in the parks, and I would listen to his stories, and he would talk about partner CrossFit on Saturdays. So finally, I'm like, take me.
Yeah.
So he took me, and then I started, and I'm like, I really like this. I like this competitiveness, and then I would start doing the online challenges, and they didn't go as well.
Yeah.
But have a great trainer that's helped me come along a
Good.
long way,
Good.
and finally made it to the games. Took about 5 or 6.
5 or 6 years is still, I think, moderately short in time, is it not?
It helps that I'm old.
Okay. Okay. Why do you say that?
Well, because the field isn't as big when you're my age.
Okay, so then there's fewer people competing in general,
Yeah.
right? Are the movements the same, or are they different?
They are the same for the most part. They could be lighter, for the and they will scale them down for us.
Okay. So your RX of a of a deadlift instead of being 225 is something more
Could
like
be 175.
still pretty decent.
Oh yeah. Oh, they don't. It's no joke. Yeah. A lot of times on some of the heavy dumbbell stuff, they may give us 20, 25s, but then it turns into a straight up cardio workout. So it's still painful.
What are some things that you see across the board at the games? Like you're competing with some of the best people in the world. What are some kind of commonalities that you see between those individuals at that stage?
As far as
Either physical fitness, like can they all kind of do the same thing? Where are some advantages that people might have? All these kinds of things.
some of them have more experience. Some of them have like they'll have a different background. Like some of them might have grown up doing gymnastics and they're fantastic in gymnastics, or somebody might have grown up swimming and they do a great job swimming. I did find that in my age group, and I don't know, I can't speak for the other ones, that all the ladies are very appreciative of everybody that's there, and they are the kindest people that you could meet.
That's cool.
They are so sweet and so supportive. They are the best group of people.
It's nice. It's nice to get that kind of
Yeah.
group around. How often are you competing?
I compete probably 4 times, and that means I gotta go travel.
Yeah.
Like last year, I went to Miami, Wadapalooza,
Yeah.
Alabama for the games, went to Arizona for Legends, about 4. And then if I do anything local, I may do 1 or 2, like the Cupid Throwdown.
Yeah. Keep it. When is that? Yeah. Good little shout out.
February 8th.
February 8th.
Yeah.
What is the Cupid Throwdown and what is the motivation behind it?
Well, it's in our gym.
Yeah.
We put it on. It's always a fun workout. Actually, last year was our first year. Tremendously successful.
Nice.
And it's just fun to work out again with a partner.
Partner workouts seem to be a pretty big emphasis for not just the community, but also for you. What do you get out of being in that partner workout? Outside of the pain, like you're sharing in pain, what else are you getting out of a partner workout?
Oh, I like having a partner. Just not sharing the pain, but sharing the workout. And you work, I work, or let's see how far we can push each other. That's about.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to get into the gym, right? What are your first, I guess, because you're also a coach, right? And so you're coaching several classes a day as well.
I only coach 1 class a day. I coach the Bootcamp class.
Okay.
So I come in from work. I get there about 5:30. I do workout with the class. And then 6:30 is my class at Bootcamp. And then after that class, then I do my training.
Very cool. I do have a question on who your trainer is and how you guys have like managed fatigue and stuff like that. But first, so we're somebody who's new to the gym.
Mhm.
What are your recommendations when first entering a CrossFit gym? It's intimidating. right? It's loud. It's like I don't really know anybody. There's a pretty big community that's already built, and so how does somebody enter that community?
When I have a new person in my class, I spend, well, I watch them very closely, try to ease their fears, try to not make it so scary per se, give them lighter weights, give them something not as high to step on, some stuff like that, just to make them feel more comfortable. I want them to come back. I don't
Okay.
want them to think, oh, I just can't do it.
How
I
have you,
want them to be successful.
it's an important thing to, I think, communicate as a coach, right? Like, um, making sure you meet them where they're at, but at the same time, like creating a warm environment.
Mhm.
Do you create a community around like those like the other people that are already in the like in the cohort or in the group? Do you introduce them to the new individual usually, or not really?
Yes, yes, yes. I have a very good group of people at 6:30, and they make the new person feel good
Nice.
working around them. Sometimes some of them will help them, some of them, good job, give them accolades.
Lots of kudos. Lots of kudos to go around. Yeah, we like kudos. So your own programming, how has it changed over the last like 5-ish years?
My program that I do,
Correct.
as far as CrossFit,
Correct.
Dakota does all my programming for
Very nice.
me. He's very patient.
Good. Why is that an important detail?
Because sometimes I get in a hurry. I don't read something correctly. He's very patient as far as teaching my lifts. Go over and over and over. He's very patient with hands ups. And he works very well with me.
Nice. And
I
you guys
really, really, really appreciate him.
nice. Yeah, right? Like a shout out, right? Yeah.
Really appreciate him.
Yeah. So, has he always been your coach the entire time?
I had a coach, Anthony Parasini, who is now with Hybrid Group.
Okay.
He was here locally. He was one of the coaches at Camp Rhino, and then he moved to Salt Lake City,
Okay.
and about when I took over.
Nice. The teams are interesting to me. It seems like there's a lot of different teams around, and the dynamics between those teams is rather interesting. How how does somebody find a team, and then how does it work? If I'm part of a team, do I have to compete with that team? Is it just like I have that coach? How does that process work?
As far as the team that I went into at the games,
Not
or
that team, but I forgot the name of the team, but there's a team that trains at the north side location, and it's like, but they all compete separately,
Mhm.
but they're all part of the same team. So what does that team look like, and what is like, why would I want to join a team?
I can't speak for that team. I can speak to how we chose our team. Uh, find competitors that you can work well with, uh, that get along, and everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. Try to find somebody that will complement your. That's what you're talking.
I think like the hybrid team is that like, are they a summation of 4 people that only compete together, or are there multiple people that compete within that same team, and whether they're separately, or are they together? Do they compete together?
Think. Um, I'm trying to think what you're asking.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So, like, um, like in powerlifting, right? So
Okay.
I have a team of uh 40 individuals,
Okay.
right? On the roster, there
Uh-huh.
are, I think there's 12 people, but as a team, we all compete together, and it doesn't necessarily mean that my score doesn't necessarily impact the team if there's if I'm not on the roster, right?
Okay.
And so let's say I get first place and I'm not on the roster, then those points don't go to that team, and that it is what it is. I can compete alone, but I can have a team of individuals like that write my programming, right? So
Right.
I have a team that I'm under, that I'm monitored by, but I compete on my own.
Okay.
Does that exist in CrossFit as well? I thought that was I thought I remember like some dynamics from what I've seen on the outside. I've seen like an individual inside of a team that doesn't compete with the team. They compete as a solo artist, solo performer, solo athlete,
Okay, I think.
but they are all like on the same, like they're all in the same group, but they don't compete together.
Uh, yeah, I'm not part of that. I think I know what you're talking about. That's more on the individuals. I noticed that that's what they were doing over the Open. Is that what you're talking about? They would compete as individuals and then come together as a team. You could go in as an individual or as a team. I don't really know a whole lot about that,
Okay.
so I don't.
That's all right. Yeah. No, it's
Sorry.
good. No, it's okay. It's just when I guess I thought that there was like what is the name? Matt Frazier, right? I think that's his name. He has what is the name of the group that he's with? Like they write programming for a community, and then so you can you can purchase to be part of that community, and then now you get like a more individualized coaching or whatever that may be. And so it's on the outside perspective, it kind of looked like I can join a community of individuals that are within a specific maybe mindset or group or programming that ultimately I can share ideas with, but I'm not necessarily competing with. And I just thought that was something cool that CrossFit had that I think is fairly unique to other things. That I just and so I was just wondering if you happen to know anything about it, but that's okay.
I don't. Yeah, because we're not a part of that. It's just mainly in the individuals that does that.
That's fair. I guess,
but I did see that happening this year, and I think I saw it last year also. But as you get in masters, they don't have that kind of. They didn't have that. We would pick our own team, so that's how we went in. And I picked somebody from Seattle that I had worked out with before, and then one person in California and one person was Washington.
And then you guys are all separate. Do you guys come together to like train together every so often to
that's what
like
we did.
get
We
timing?
got together a couple of times to work out together.
Timing is rather important, right? Like, can we all squat at the same time? Like, there's specific movements. I forgot what they call them, but like you do everything at the same time. What are they called?
Synchro.
Synchros. Yeah. That seems like insanity to me.
Yeah, synchro burpees. Everybody loves synchro burpees.
It sounds like
everybody loves to program synchro burpees.
Why?
Because you got to get your chest and thighs to the ground at the same time and stand up and then back down on the ground. I don't know what it is, but that's one thing that they seem to love to program.
Yeah, like finally on like meet day, there's something that you probably see pretty often. I see those often. I see like toes to bar synchros pretty often,
that's pretty
which
common.
Also sounds like death to me. All of these things are just the skill itself is challenging enough, and then you're gonna add that with now do that in sync with somebody else. It sounds
Get
crazy.
those toes to the bar at the same time.
There's like almost no way. Like how many hours it would take for someone to practice with each other to finally get that down, I would imagine is a lot of time.
It takes some. You need to find somebody that you have the same kind of timing with. That helps. Because everybody swings a little bit different or pulls back a little bit different. So
yeah,
it's just something you have to get to know each other.
If I'm a little bit taller than you, it's going to change whether we're going to touch at the same time, right? Like there's so many variables that come into play. And I'm not, again, from an outside perspective, it seems like I would rather almost go individual rather than team.
Well, I had gone individual so much that going in as a team was fun.
Nice.
Not to say I don't like individual. I do like that.
Would you do individual again?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then would you do team again?
I think I would.
Okay. So then what's the coming season? What are you planning on doing?
I will try for individual. And then if I don't make it, then I will try to find a team. And that's what I did this year.
Got it.
They had the opportunity. That was a new thing this year was Masters team in the games. And we took advantage of it. I just missed the cut line. So I didn't want to miss out at being at the game. So I talked to Dakota. I go, let's put a team together.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
And then, so I had a question about working as an individual and I completely forgot it. So, how's your programming changed over the last, like, I know I already asked this once, but I'm going to did you go, has it become more complicated over time? Is it still pretty standard? Are there some areas that you're really focusing on, or you're like, I don't really need to run anymore? Because there's so many different energy systems that are being used. how do you like maintain all of those energy systems all at the same time and to be able to like prepare for a competition?
He puts me through cycles.
Okay.
We'll go through and like the beginning of the year, talk about cycles. Like we'll go through a strength cycle, work a lot on strength, then come back to Metcons. That's what we're doing now. I have Legends in 2 weeks. So now we're going to pick it up and start doing quick transition stuff, more sprinty, just more higher, what do I want to say?
Higher intensity?
Higher intensity, yeah.
Very nice. And then, so how do you manage your fatigue? As you know, as we get older, it's harder and harder for us to manage fatigue. It's just like physiologically, it's more demanding. Our bodies are kind of slowing down. And so are we like, how focused are we on diet or on our nutrition, or are we taking peptides? Like, how do we manage all of that kind of stuff?
I try to eat pretty consistent. I don't try to, I cut down a lot on my drinking.
Nice. Good.
No, I used to have occasional cocktails, but as I get closer, I won't drink at all. And then, like I said, I'm pretty consistent on my eating. I don't like to vary too much, throw my system off. I try to get as much sleep as I can. Sometimes it's a little challenging.
I would imagine. Yeah, especially when you start working out late and you have to get up.
Yeah, when
early.
I get home at 10 o'clock and try to get something to eat and then get up at 5:30.
Yeah. What is like what is the motivation? What's your purpose? Like why do you do what you do? Why do you continue to train?
I love it. I actually just love doing it. I love staying fit. I love the challenges. I like working out with the younger people.
Makes you feel young, I guess. Stay young. Yeah.
Sometimes when I say my age out loud, it's like, oh, you're that old? I forget how old I am sometimes.
How old are you? Can
63.
I ask? Damn, that's awesome.
63. No, I'm sorry, 64.
Look at you go.
Forgot I just turned 64.
Oh, happy birthday. Yeah. I think it's very often I'll for like the whatever the year that I turned the new age. For the longest time, I'll take forever to like actually remember that age, and then all of a sudden I'll turn the new age, and then I'm back one. So like, oh, I'm 27. No, wait, I'm 28. And then the next year I'll be like, oh, I'm 28. Let's go. Wait, no, I'm 29. Right? And so it's just like this like constant trying to catch up. Always feeling young, which is awesome. Do you like lifting heavy? Like, because I don't know how important is lifting heavy in the sport of CrossFit.
I don't like lifting super heavy. I went through a cycle where I was doing a lot of really heavy stuff, and it was affecting my hips. I like to do semi-heavy, but not ridiculously heavy.
Any major injuries that you've had?
My shoulder.
What happened?
I had rotator cuff surgery.
Nice.
Bicep tendon relocation.
Yeah.
Reconstruction
Cool.
surgery on my shoulder.
That's a fun surgery. That's a long recovery time.
It wasn't horrible. It wasn't as bad as people would say. You know, they'd give me their absolute horror stories on it. I was actually, had it done in October, and February was the open, and I did the open. I didn't do great, but
yeah,
I did the open.
The fact that you competed is kind of insane.
It kind of an insane little fact. I was in a sling. I would have to do a lot of stuff with just one arm. We had 1,000 burpee challenge, so I did 1,000 one-arm burpees.
That's insane. Yeah. Tyus is like, what the fuck? What'd you do? That's crazy.
Took a couple hours, but yeah. Yeah, we had about, 40 or 50 people in one room, and decided we were going to do 1,000 burpees.
That doesn't sound like fun at all. I mean, no part of me is like, oh yeah, let's just like, let's come in.
Fun, yeah.
Let's come in on a Saturday and let's just do 1,000 burpees.
Let's just say that's the last time we did that.
You guys just did 1,000 step-ups a couple days ago, or like last couple weeks ago,
yeah,
right?
That's
so
true.
like, and those were weighted step-ups for 1,000 reps. That's insane. How long does something like that take?
It was taking people an hour, a little bit less than an hour, a little more, around an hour.
It's not bad.
No, it's not as bad as you would think.
It's not bad at all. Like I figured that would take me like a lot longer than an hour,
Yeah.
especially on with a weighted vest.
Yeah.
But I guess it's manageable. Like obviously it's manageable. Did you do that one as well?
That particular one, I did not do. I mean, I did the step ups. I did. I would do step ups and bike. I'd go back and forth. Doing that many step ups this close to competition, we just felt that let's not do that.
What's the point?
Yeah.
What do you expect from this next competition? Where is it, and like, what is your goal for the competition?
Arizona,
Okay.
ASU. It's the second time that Legends has been at ASU. Well, obviously, my goal is to get first place.
Yeah.
If I can.
Yeah. I guess like sometimes.
But now I'm getting at the back end of my age group, so I'm not the young one anymore.
What are the age groups? How does it section out? What different masters sections are there?
It goes in 5-year increments.
Okay.
So, for instance, mine would be 60 to 64.
Okay.
So this, I think
You're on the
this
top
is going
end.
to be maybe next year. It depends on how my birthday is. Next year might be my last year in this age group, but that's how the games is too. It's every 5 years. I believe it starts at 35. So 35 to 39, 40 to 44.
Yeah. Five.
Yeah,
It's very similar to powerlifting as well. I think it's the same thing. So I think we have like up to like 80 something or 90 something years old, which I think is also insane. Are there athletes that compete that are that kind of age?
They had a new division, 70 plus, in the games.
That's crazy. I kind of want to watch that.
Right?
I want to watch that. I think it'd be really fun to watch. Just like motivation to hopefully, like, as I continue to age, I want to continue to move like that. You know, like that would be the dream to be able to do that. You know, very often, especially now, you don't see that very commonly. People just can't move very well. So to be 70,
That's why I don't
plus,
stop.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's a good motivation to never stop. So I guess whenever I'm looking at a specific meet that I would compete in, I was like, oh man, I really want to, get my run time down to whatever, or I want to squat something like, I had a set goal of a specific number that I had a pretty good gauge of what I could have as an output. So I kind of knew my third attempt was going to be 550 or whatever it was. And so I know it's a little bit different from CrossFit because you don't have necessarily specific percentages. But are there some areas that you feel like either like you're the most prepared for in comparison to last year where you weren't as prepared for? Like what does your progress look like in specific movements, and then some specific goals around like either movements or like is it just finishing?
It's pretty much maintaining, I would say. As I get older, if I could just maintain what I'm doing, I'm happy. It's hard to progress, I guess I could say. I'd like to say that my handstand push-ups are going to be better because we work very hard on them. But to get, an extra 20 pounds on a clean, it's not going to happen.
I would imagine it's rather. I mean, those increments become smaller and smaller, right?
They
Like
do.
you end up hitting close to a plateau, and then like 1 or 2 pounds of an increase is kind of like
that's big for me.
Yeah, that's huge. Those are huge numbers. You're like, thank God I could hit another pound this year. And I think people think like, oh, I'm going to hit another 20 pounds every single year forever, or every single meet I'm going to jump up 20 pounds. But there is a leveling off point where like, man, if you get another 2 pounds on your total, 3 pounds on your total, you're still on the upper end of like most people in the world, which is kind of, puts things into perspective a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I look at some of the younger people and I watch them, how they progress and how fast they progress. And it's like, it'd be nice, but not realistic.
Yeah. Have you ever wanted to coach? I mean, you have a lot of experience. And so have you ever wanted to coach like a team before?
I had never really thought about it.
Okay.
Not really.
Or other individuals, like giving back to the community in any sort of way? Outside of just owning the gym is a big deal.
Yeah.
It gives people a place to, to practice, right? And so, but outside of that, are you looking to get involved in that community, or are you involved in that community?
Not so much other than my boot camp. I love helping my boot campers. As far as being a coach, personal coach, I never really thought about it because I just don't have any time.
Yeah, fair. This is the side gig, right?
I've had people ask me before and I'm like, I would love to, and I will help you in any way possible if I'm here. But I just don't have the time to do it.
Makes sense.
Not to dedicate to somebody that would need it.
On Sundays, you run kind of like your own boot camp that I've heard a lot about. Like you kind of go off the script, I guess, if you will, and you create like a community workout on Sundays. Can you tell me about what inspired that and then
I
what that
love
looks
my
like?
Sunday workouts.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's I get to do it. I get to do my own programming, and I base it a lot on stuff that we do throughout the year. Put different workouts together. Have a lot of notes based on the last 15 years that I've been doing this. I try to create everybody have fun. I don't try to be as rigid. Like I give them different movements. If you can't do this, then do this. If you can't do this, do this. I call it Choose Your Own Adventure Sunday. And we try to put happy music on, and I let people, if people want to work together as a group, work together as a group. If somebody wants to work by yourself, work by yourself. So that's why I think it creates a fun environment for everyone.
It's a very lax environment.
It is.
Yeah, very fun environment. So like if I was going to go to a class for my first time at Camp Rhino, Sunday would probably be a really fun opportunity to join.
I would say yes.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it. It sounds pretty inviting. You make it sound pretty nice and warm.
We have a lot of people that show up, and when a lot of people show up, you get a lot of energy also, and people like to watch other people work out while they're working out, and it's all fun.
The Saturdays and Sundays both seem
Yes.
like very busy days. There's maybe not tomorrow's Saturday. I don't know if people are going to be there tomorrow or Sunday since, everybody, I would imagine, traveling and Thanksgiving today. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. But
Well, you saw how many people were there yesterday. I bet we had probably over 20 people, maybe even 30 people yesterday morning at 8:30.
I believe you. I am like so focused with whoever I'm working with that it's kind of like,
true.
I kind of like block everything out. And I just try to be present for the clients that I'm with. And so,
Understood.
but I'm sure, I think that there's people there. And then I stayed later in the day and there was nobody there.
Yeah.
And which, I mean, obviously it's like after 11, people are having lunch with their families and stuff like that. It's a huge gym though. It's a huge facility. There's a lot of things you can do inside that facility. It's kind of amazing. So I know we talked a little bit, kind of a little more broad, but a couple more just last questions. What are some goals? Like are classes changing inside of Camp Rhino, or are more events going to be hosted? What are some other things that we can see moving forward within the gym?
We'll have more events. We'll definitely announce them, what we'll have. We've got our holiday event coming up. We have the Cupid's event coming up. We just got done with I'm going to say this wrong, UNAA, the Ninja Championship.
Cool.
Next door. We're looking at if we want to add more classes or not. What else?
About it. And then just follow the Instagram and kind of keep up, right? Yeah. There might be more stuff kind of coming out.
The boys are always thinking of stuff to do. Their minds are always going.
Good. And then for you, you have your competition coming up here in 2 weeks, and you'll be competing there. And then after that, hopefully qualifying for the games the following year, which is in like March, April, May, something like that.
I believe the Open starts in February, March. Early March, end of February. I believe it starts at. Yeah.
Very cool. And
starts
then
that process again.
Yeah. And then the games are.
They haven't announced them yet. They're usually in August.
Okay.
So we'll have the Open, then we'll have a semifinals or whatever they're going to call it this year, and then the games.
Very nice. Well, where can people find you? Like it's the Instagram for Camp Rhino. Plug and promote all the things you got.
All I have is my Instagram, which is D Corwin, and Camp Rhino.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
See you all next time. Thank you.